Gloria laus et honor tibi sit, Rex Christe Redemptor.
I thought of what I'm about to say in part when I was looking at a Christmas creche. It's a nice creche, and they do have an ox and an ass that are sort of kneeling before the infant Jesus, as in that picture, the ass and the ox warming the newborn infant with their breaths. And we know it from the creche, but we probably also know it from Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knows its owner, and the donkey its master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people do not understand. And if you think about this, it's really true. No matter how dumb an animal is, it knows that the person who feeds it is keeping it alive. It knows who its master is and who it owes allegiance to. And even a dumb ox, even a cow, even a sheep, even an ass, the dumbest animal you can imagine, they all know their master. And they all know that they owe everything to their master. Now think of us. Where does our food come from? Our food comes from God. The food grows out of dirt. We can't eat dirt. I mean, the food basically comes out of the air and the dirt and water. Now you can mix up a nice bowl of air and dirt and water and try to nourish yourself with it. But it's not going to keep you alive for very long. We need food, and food. Only living things are the source of food, and life doesn't exist without God. And if you actually created yourself out of nothing, please raise your hand and move to the front of the class, because as far as I know, none of us created ourselves. And in fact, none of us was really created by our parents either. They contributed to the body, but the soul was sovereignly made by God. We owe our very existence to God. We owe the sustenance of our existence, the continuation of our existence to God. We owe our life to God. We owe everything that serves us in this world to God. There's nothing that comes to us except from God. And yet, the ox and the ass at least know their master. They may kick their master, They may get angry at their master, but at least they know they didn't create themselves, and they know that they have a master, and they know who the master is. So the ox knows its owner, the donkey its master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people do not understand. Now, Isaiah was talking before there was a Catholic Church, okay? God's people were the Jews. God's people were Israel. Today, of course, God's people are the church. Maybe also Israel, but they're certainly the church. And how many people in the church, how many good Catholics go through their day, permeate their consciousness with the fact that they owe everything to God. And God is present, and they are not acknowledging Him. We should live in a 24/7 consciousness of God's love for us, and of our gratitude to God, and of our debt to God, and that whatever we do couldn't be possibly enough to scratch the surface of what we owe God. Okay, so that's one dimension that I wanted to talk about. And the other dimension is divine providence. If we do not see everything that happens to us as divine providence, then we're also not recognizing that God is our master. He is our master who is arranging everything. He's not only arranging our food and our livelihood and our families and everything else, but He's arranging every event of the day that comes to meet us for our own good. When hay appears in the stall of the ox, The ox knows that the hay came from its master. When we get a stroke of good fortune, or when we get a stroke of bad fortune, we should at least equal the ox and know that that thing that appeared in front of us came from our master. Needless to say, it's not any coincidence, this juxtaposition of the verse from Isaiah with the Christmas creche, because the newborn Jesus is the master of the ass and the ox in the ultimate sense. And the newborn Jesus is certainly our master. And the ox and the ass at least have the sense to recognize him. And we go through 99.9% of our day not recognizing our master.
Gloria laus et honor tibi sit, Rex Christi